Hi everyone! Why visit Miami? And more so, why return? I'm here to give you the best 10 reasons why you should. And I promise you, these reasons get better and better and more delicious as we go. Reason number 1. Downtown. Most people confuse Miami with Miami Beach, an entirely other city, or with the heavily populated areas of Miami-Dade County without the wetlands. Miami City proper is actually much smaller and includes the Grove, the Art District, downtown, but not Sweetwater, the Gables, the Hammocks. Confused? Well, for the better understanding of how things are in real life, we'll simply call the area of Dade County Miami, kind of like the postal services do, with downtown being its capital. That should work. As such, Miami has over 2 million inhabitants, but it behaves like one of the biggest metropolises in the world. It strings along several other cities to form a subtropical paradise called the Greater Miami, with over 6 million people and a few hundred thousands of recreational boats. Miami can be called a stubborn city. It was born and reborn after destiny threw it many curveballs, from tragic ones like the wars on drugs and devastating hurricanes, to more valid ones, such as waves of immigrations caused by pan-regional distress. I heard it called by some the capital of Latin America. I would say Miami is the United Nations of Latin America and Europe, with an impressive melting pot of heritages who have managed to live quite vibrantly, if not always peacefully, together. Let's say you land in Miami. The first thing you notice is the periwinkle color of the sky. It is a reflection, I think, of the large masses of water that cradle the city. Embrace it and give it life. Nested between the Everglades and the Atlantic Ocean, Miami is a city of canals, of lakes, waterways, beaches, and a myriad of islands and bridges that make it sparkle by night like a string of diamonds. I always thought it to be the prettiest seen from the plane. Miami is also the largest cruise port in the world. Ships the size of skyscrapers, lining up the docks to head out onto the ocean and reach other lands, compete with the downtown skyline. The center of Miami rises from the ground in style, reflecting the emerald waters below and the perpetual blue skies above, with a touch of snobbery, luxury, and panache. Now let's land from the clouds and see what else is going on in this lovely and stubborn city. Reason number 2, VIZCAYA. The pretty estate was built by a businessman named James Deering around the First World War and stands out as Miami's most remarkable Mediterranean Revival, Baroque and Italian Renaissance villa. Today it is known as VIZCAYA Museum and Gardens, is owned by the county, and is one of the city's darlings, a compulsory location for social events, romantic strolls, reenactment festivals, weddings, or quinceañera celebrations, as well as modeling photoshoots. It has about 70 rooms, and it was, when built, supplied with the best technology available at that time, including the first telephone in Florida. The decor consists of a painstakingly acquired collection of antiques and art pieces, mostly European. Although its first set of china sunk with the Titanic, it was replaced by insurance. Sadly, a portion of the most valuable antiques were stolen in 1971 by notorious thieves, and only a small portion was recovered. 3 major hurricanes affected the property in 1926, 1992, and 2005, causing irreparable damage to the gardens. But, as I said, Miami is a stubborn one. Ongoing works are done to preserve and revive what has been damaged or lost, so that the city of Miami can keep having this precious and familiar playground of hers for many more generations. Reason number 3, Miami Beach. The city of Miami is connected by many bridges with spectacular 360-degree views to its islands, including Miami Beach, its little Miami sister. South of it lies Key Biscayne, while to the north follow a few more posh areas like Bal Harbour or Sunny Isles. This string of islands, of which Miami Beach is by far the largest, have superb beaches with pink-white sand, emerald waters, and 365 days of sunshine per year. South Beach is the heart of Miami Beach, with Art Deco buildings, too many hotels to count, shopping streets, pedestrian streets, bars and clubs, as well as its iconic lifeguard towers. Vibrant colors and neon lights set the tone for a perfect vacation for over 10 million overnight visitors each year. Miami Beach truly is a pretty little place of this world. Designated as a historic district, its Art Deco area consists of over 900 homes and other buildings erected between 1923 and 1943 in the Art Deco, Mediterranean, and streamlined modern styles, forming the largest such agglomeration in the world. The main roads to stroll and to take it all in are Ocean Drive, Collins Avenue, Washington Avenue, Espanola Way, and Lincoln Road. Since the designation of several parts of the island as historic districts, many newer hotels were built by conserving and expanding existing structures. Miami Beach has many other claims to fame, among which my favorites are the Frank Gehry Building, housing the outstanding New World Symphony conducted by Michael Tilson Thomas, as well as the fact that it has been for decades a safe haven from the LGBTQ+ community and is governed by some of the most progressive laws in existence. There are other music venues, theaters, museums and such, too many to mention. But a walk on Lincoln Road is a must, even if you're just passing through. A string of over 200 boutiques, shops, restaurants and coffee bars stay open till late along the Miami modern architectural design of Maurice Lapidus. But, well, this doesn't even scratch the surface. South Beach is a treasure trove of colors and fun. Reason number 4, the Everglades. While Miami is a relatively new and young city, its neighbor to the west, the Everglades, are about 5,000 years old. Most people think that the alligator is, biologically speaking, the main protagonist of this ecosystem of wetlands, but in truth, it's the sawgrass, the tall, swaying sedges with rough edges, and the mangroves, 3 species of trees that look like they have branches growing both ways, into the sky and into the water. The Everglades have been called the River of Grass, since the waters of these marshes flow ever so gently from the Lake Okeechobee towards the southern tip of Florida, where they mix with salt water. The main Everglades ecosystem consists of many smaller ones: sawgrass marshes, mangrove swamps, pinelands, cypress swamps, freshwater sloughs, wet prairies, and hardwood hammocks, for example, all swarming with birds, bugs, and alligators. Among the 36 protected or endangered animal species living in the Everglades are the flamingo, the Florida panther, the Florida manatee, and the Florida crocodile, joined by 180 endangered plants. In addition, the Everglades are inhabited by 350 species of birds, 300 species of fish, 50 species of reptiles, and 40 species of mammals. The manatees are protected sea mammals, herbivores, and are known for having vocal communication abilities like the dolphins. They've been on Earth for 50 million years and are related to the elephants. The alligators are about 37 million years old and have a close cousin in China. Large individuals can reach 5 meters in length, up to half a ton in weight, can live for decades, and bite stronger than any other living animal on Earth. The Everglades are a fragile ecosystem, and the Everglades National Park is currently listed as an endangered UNESCO World Heritage Site. Reason number 5, sports. Miami is not only young and pretty, it is also very sporty. Its enviable weather, tropical rains and hurricanes excluded, makes it the perfect spot to hold major sporting events, as well as to train during winter season. Want to catch a major friendly between national teams, or between some of the top teams in the world? Miami is your best bet. The list of sports is not limited to the major leagues, but for lack of space and time, here are the main ones. The Miami Dolphins and the Miami Hurricanes, American football teams, the Marlins baseball team, and the Miami Heat basketball team. The Miami Dolphins compete in the NFL and the Hurricanes in the NCAA, and their stadium is up north in Miami Gardens. Its name has changed and will often change with the sponsors of the day. The ultra-modern renovated venue hosts the Orange Bowl. It is also used for tennis, hosting the Miami Opens, as well as for baseball, concerts, or friendlies, and sits up to 70,000 people. The Miami Heat basketball team plays in the NBA and holds 3 titles. They play in downtown Miami at the sleek Miami Arena, how most people know the ever-name changing venue. The arena sits about 19,000 and has top-notch VIP amenities. It is also used often for concerts for the likes of Celine, Gaga, Miley, Gloria, Shakira, Justin, Taylor, Ariana, or GD, among many others. The baseball team, the Miami Marlins, play in the MLB and have their own fancy stadium, the Marlins Park, located smack in the middle of the city. The tennis tournament, which originally started in Key Biscayne, where it played for 31 years, also moved and changed names, and is now called the Miami Open. It is an ATP Masters 1000 tournament with over $8 million in prize money, and all the sport's greatest have played it. Last, but by all means no least, Miami has a new crown jewel, their very own MLS football aka soccer team, the Inter Miami CF, which carries an official full name in Spanish, Club Internacional de Fútbol Miami. Currently, the team's owner is David Beckham and associates. The team's captain is Lionel Messi, and the rest of the players come from Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay, Colombia, Spain, France, Finland, and the United States, while the main coaches are all Argentine. A perfect recipe for success. Reason number 6, the Gables. Coral Gables is one of Miami's predominantly residential areas with history. It has some of the top wealthiest zip codes in the United States, and it's a fully planned community in Mediterranean revival style built in the 1920s. It was the brainchild of George Merrick, a well-to-do real estate developer. The city was planned to have a central commercial area, still there today, as the Gables' shopping avenue Miracle Mile, its crowning glory being the Coral Gables City Hall, with its charming Corinthian columns and clock tower. Along the mile, his main offices were housed in the handsome Colonnade building, now a luxury hotel. The strict regulations imposed by Merrick on building and zoning are still implemented today. Coral Gables' main landmark is the Biltmore, built in 1926 as a hotel. It has been restored as a hotel once more, after many years of neglect, in 1987, and is today a National Historic Landmark. It is one of the sights that catch your eyes first while landing in Miami, since it sits tall and handsome in the midst of a sea of green, the lush parks and gardens of a residential area, as well as its own huge golf course. Its pool claims to be the largest in the world, at least in the past, and it had an illustrious swimming instructor, the actor who played Tarzan in the original Hollywood movies, Johnny Weissmuller. For nature lovers, the Gables has a large botanical garden surrounded by a public park with a small beach, the Fairchild Tropical Garden and the Matheson Hammock Park. Fairchild opened in 1936 and was named after a botanist who collected over 75,000 plants for research purposes. The gardens remain until today an education, research, and conservation center. It also organizes art exhibits by renowned modern and contemporary artists, such as Yayoi Kusama, Dale Chihuly, or Roy Lichtenstein, just to name a few. Reason number 7, the Keys. Florida has too many tourist attractions to talk about. From the Orlando Mickey Mouse area to NASA's Museum of Spaceships, it'll be hard to decide where to spend a few extra days. Closer to Miami, though, there is one panoramic wonder that deserves to be discovered and admired mile by mile, the Florida Keys. Imagine a giant ripple of limestone rising from the water so very slightly to form a string of islands. Imagine a vastness of all shades of aqua, cyan, sky blue, and ultramarine swaying with you as you drive. Imagine yourself holding an ice-cold drink in one hand while wondering why you haven't been there sooner. Imagine the silhouettes of palm trees turning dark against an orange-red sunset, and you breathing relieved that you finally found heaven. The Keys have one emotional thing in common: serenity. This doesn't mean that they can get rowdy in all the colors of the rainbow. There is life pulsating everywhere. There is music, there are beaches, bargain shops, and tourist traps for those who like them. But on the other side of their coin, there is tranquility. There are hidden gems, like inns and eateries with home-cooked meals, secluded inlets, homes on stilts, secret sandbars serving mojitos to 3 people, or rooftop rooms and terraces where only the sky can watch you. Key West is the largest of the Keys and the southernmost inhabited one, only 150 kilometers from Cuba. Its most illustrious resident was Ernest Hemingway, whose house is a museum you can visit. His favorite bar on Duval Street was Sloppy Joe's, from where he stole a urinal. Go figure. And the island has a long-standing history of pirates and sunken ships, ready for you to discover. A bit more trivia? The freeway running through the 7-mile bridge replaced the daring railroad from Miami to Key West, built 100 years ago, and which was destroyed by the 1935 hurricane, the strongest to ever hit the States. One more? Well, a living coral barrier reef accompanies the Keys, tracing their contour to the south. It is the 3rd largest in the world and the only one alive on continental US. Oh, well, you can see the Milky Way from your car on the light unpolluted smaller islands. One more? Maybe not now. I'll tell you the story of the Conch Republic next time. Reason number 8, luxury. The word Miami in a universal language would probably mean luxury. Or there would be at least synonyms. Every large city has its fair share of luxuries. Mansions, yachts, diamonds, haute couture, speedboats, fast and fancy cars, private clubs, Michelin-starred restaurants, contemporary art collections, real estate properties curated by Sotheby's, private planes, lavish penthouses. Oh wait, I'm describing Miami actually. The city kind of has it all. How accessible is this luxury for you and me? Very much so actually. There are one-day cruises from the port of Miami, or you can take sightseeing helicopter rides, quick plane rides to the Keys that don't necessarily break the bank. The sky is the limit, literally. If you don't want to spend your lifetime savings on a diamond bracelet, simply visiting Miami's most upscale malls is a worthy and educational experience. Plus, most have stores for all budgets. Bal Harbour, Merritt Park, and the Design District, or Aventura Mall, are your top options. Bal Harbour is the most expensive. Miami has more marinas than you can imagine, and too many people have boats. Want to see the water up close? Go to Bayside Mall in downtown and take a boat trip to see the islands and the homes of the rich and famous. The sights are too pretty to miss, especially at sunset. Extravagant sports are actually for everyone. Sailing, windsurfing, parasailing, jet skiing, scuba diving, surfing, kayaking. You can do every single sport imaginable in Miami, on the water or under the water surface. Aside from the vast Atlantic you can see by renting a spot on a deep-sea fishing boat, you can just simply enjoy your pool, because every hotel has one. Fancy cars are also for hire. Each respectable car rental company offers luxury cars in Miami. Plus, many fancy car rental businesses have specialized in making you happy for a day or two. Same applies for boats of all sizes. If you want to see the finest ones, go to the boat show. Want to play a round of golf? Book a hotel that has a golf course. Most other courses require memberships. Best time to visit? Spring or late fall. Reason number 9, Wynwood. Miami has an art district and a design district that have one thing in common. Both were born on the shoulders of local artists and artisans. Wynwood was a derelict area where local artists rented inexpensive spaces to open their art studios and galleries. The design district was, well, a design district with ateliers of interior designers. Today, both areas are called the happening parts of town. Wynwood has become an entertainment district with art, and the design district is an upscale shopping mall with designers. Although the local flavor has been heavily diluted through the opening of clubs, bars, restaurants, coffee shops, mega stores of fashion brands, as well as by the construction of upscale apartment buildings, there are traces of art left. The walls of the once derelict industrial district of Wynwood, covered in graffiti, have formed, years ago, the backdrop for this change, and are still there for all to see. These walls remained and stand testimony to what street art can do for a city. Most of the current galleries show several artists. Actual artist studios have migrated to other areas to do their wonders somewhere else. Painting on public walls is a debated issue in most cities. Nevertheless, art can make miracles, unite people, create change, and further causes. I remember Wynwood when the first coffee shop opened and only artists went there to sip cheap brews and to go online. The area was filled with nostalgia back then, and is now even more so. Visiting a place often and discovering how the time works its wonders is one of the most attractive aspects of traveling. One very welcome change for Wynwood was the arrival of the yearly Art Basel Miami Beach show, one of the top art fairs in the world. Since Miami Beach has very limited space, Wynwood obliged, and the huge tents filled with art and art events offer one of the best times you can spend in Miami, usually early December. Reason number 10, Cuban. Yes, Cuban everything. If you take out of Miami everything that is Cuban, you would be left with a different city. The assimilation of 1 million people over several decades has created an opportunity for change, but more than anything, an opportunity for growth. Cubans brought and preserved their traditions, their cooking, their habits, beliefs, customs, religion, music and dance, their sense of humor, and their accent. Joined by an ongoing immigration from other Latin American countries, the Cuban and the not-so-Cuban parts of Miami have learned how to embrace croquetas, cafecitos, cortaditos, tres leches, and ropa vieja. Do you want to know how Cubans dance? Go to Mangoes on Ocean Drive. Want to get the full range of Cuban cooking? Go to the Cuban Versailles. Want to know everything that is to know about Cuban culture in Miami? Go to Little Havana, the socio-cultural and political center of Cuban exiles, centered on the famous Calle Ocho. There, you will smell the cigars, hear the son cubano, taste Cuban specialties, and buy Cuban souvenirs. Cigars are lost on me, but the tobacco leaf-infused whiskey cocktail at Ball & Chain is the best way to get as close as possible to one of Cuba's most notorious products. Here is a short list of Cuban specialties you need to try. picadillo, ropa vieja, arroz con frijoles negros, Cuban sandwich, medianoche sandwich, lechón asado, masitas de puerco, yuca frita, plátanos maduros, croquetas, and Cuban tamales, for example. For dessert, go for arroz con leche, flan, 3 leches, 4 leches, pastelitos de guayaba y queso, and colada coffee. While in Miami, you have to try other local specialties. Each nationality represented has its own restaurants: Peruvian, Colombian, Argentine, and so on. And this brings us to two of Miami's most representative foods, aside from alligator bits and clam chowder. Well, a dessert and a drink: key lime pie and the mojito. You can whisk a key lime pie from a bar of cream cheese, half a cup of key lime juice, and a can of condensed milk, plus a pie crust and some whipped cream, and voila! How can that simple pie be so delicious is beyond me. As far as the mojito goes, use the local Bacardi rum, key limes, fresh mint, sugarcane syrup, and soda. Want to try another Cuban cocktail? Try a real Cuban daiquiri or a Cuba Libre, or let the bartender at the ball and chain on Calle 8 surprise you. Cheers and salud! Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please don't smash any buttons. Just gently like and subscribe for more. The world is vast and it's all yours. Next time, you might also want to fall in love with this next destination over there. Thank you.